Straight into the corner.
Up three. Good.
Step back three. That's a good shot for three.
Stepping through off the window, good. Stepping through the raindrops and the finish on the right hand.
And everything's going to Perth's way with back-to-back threes. The Bombers a WNBL chance.
Round 5 of the Cygnett WNBL continues as Southside return to Perth for the first time since January 3rd of 2020. Stars return for the Flyers. Welcome to Perth. Liam Ellison here alongside Jenny Screen, Olympian WNBL veteran. Jenny, welcome for another ripping night of hoops in Perth.
How exciting is this? Back onto the west side of this beautiful country, Australia, and two big teams with star-studded lineups going at it tonight.
Both teams coming off double-digit losses last round. Perth lost by 15 at this very venue to Melbourne, and Southside, without the services of Lauren Jackson and Kayla Thornton, fell to Adelaide by 19. Only 8 available players, Jenny Screen.
Yeah, really tough night for Southside Flyers. They're going to probably have some of those games this season. They are one of the eldest in terms of age across the brackets in their team. But if they can look after their players and their vets like Lauren Jackson, Abby Bishop and the like, they're going to go a long way into pushing into this top 4 this season. Back
to full strength this evening. The Flyers looking strong. It's been an up and down season so far for them. Some injuries have seen them at a 3-2 record so far.
Yeah, absolutely. But you've also got to remember that on paper, this is probably the best team in the league. They've got a lot of opals, a lot of girls that have obviously been away with the World Cup as well. So it's going to take them a little bit of time to gel. But a lot of these girls are vets. They've played many, many games either in the WNBL, across the world, in either the WNBA or in Europe. They know how to play some hoop.
So it's early in the season, but some ramifications on the table perspective tonight. Perth can jump up above the Flyers if they are to prevail here. Flyers can jump above Townsville as well. Just one undefeated team remaining so far this season in Bendigo. Yeah, it's pretty exciting basketball, I must admit. Obviously, Melbourne and Bendigo are starting to separate themselves, so wins are really important no matter what night of the week it is, and both of these need one considering they've come off both losses. Perth Lynx lineup on your screen right now, and a big omission tonight. There is indeed Miss Sammy Whitcomb, who's having another stellar season, averaging just over the 13, 14 points a game, I should say. She's going to be a big out for them. As we know, she is their leader. She is the engine and spark, but allows opportunity for others to step in. Amy Atwell's stepping up to the mark as well. We know Chloe Bishop is feeling a lot more comfortable in that uniform. Southside Flyers, the visitors tonight. Few wins there for them. Absolutely, none other than the GOAT that is Lauren Jackson, back in the lineup, averaging just over 24 minutes a game. Blitzar's been doing real. Rebecca Cole doing Coley things, shooting the lights out from deep as well. And look at that bench. The depth is just phenomenal, whether it be youth or veteranship coming off the bench for the Southside Flyers. Of course, Monique Conti returning last round as well to the WNBL for the first time since the bubble season in 2020. How did you see her performances? Yeah, look, I mean, she's an athlete. She's grown up playing this great game of ours, and I think that's what's made her such a good AFLW player as well, learning how to make decisions very quickly in a small amount of space, and she knows how to play this game. She's fit, she's ready. It'll take her a while to find her touch, but I think Southside Flyers will be loving that she's there, considering they've lost Dallas Luffbridge to an ACL, who is an up-and-coming point guard, and I believe will be a future opal in many years to come. But it's not a bad signing to have, Monique Conti. Absolutely. Plenty of depth on this Southside team, no doubt about that. Of course, from the Southside perspective, last week they got out-rebounded 55-33, obviously without the services of LJ and Kayla Thornton, like we mentioned, but they're coming up against Lauren Scherf tonight. Yeah, Scherfy, she's almost averaging a double-double this season and leading from the front, really. 11 points, 9.6 rebounds, and leading in the assist category. The big girl is getting it done, and that just shows you, one, that she can find her teammates, but she's got some teammates that can knock the ball down. We know that Petrick loves the style of run and gun, loves to shoot it from the 3 or layups in the paint, and that hasn't changed regardless of the lineup he's had. So we know the fourth quarters have been great for the wins with the Perth Lynx team, averaging 27 points in fourth quarters. So this one could go down to the wire, but it's going to be tough. They're going to have to step up without Sammy. Here we go. Lauren Scherf and Jackson to contest the tip. Scherf, who we spoke of, coming into the prime of her career at the moment. having a great season so far. Here we go, the Flyers and the Lynx here in Perth. Thursday night hoops here for the Cygnett WNBL as round 5 continues, and Jackson wins it for the Flyers. Cole straight away past to Blitzarves, first bucket. Just like that. Southside off the tip. Alex Sharp. Ryan gives it off to Atwell. Here's Chloe Bibby leading the team in scoring with 17 points per game. Sharp from the wing, won't fall. Another opportunity for Perth, who turn it over instantly.
Good look, good execution there. Nice little staggers action. Got some penetration deep into the paint, and Sharpie had a great shot there. Just didn't fall to the bottom of the net.
Thornton for 3 herself, a little short. Rebound goes to Scherf. Ryan off the dribble, around Rochi, straight down the lane, and there's the bucket for Perth.
Nice to see Ryan actually get the first buckets for the Lynx tonight. You know, we talked, Patrick came out with an article just saying he wants her to be more aggressive. She had a great NBL 1 West season this year, which allowed her to get this contract, and it'd be nice to see her step up. And now that she feels a little bit more comfortable, they got 5 games under their belt, and you know what's expected of this league, the physicality, the differences from NBL 1. It's nice to see her find the bottom of the net early for her team.
So Lauren Jackson will head to the free throw line, drawing contact on that low block J. Yet to miss a 3 throw so far this WNBL season. Doesn't change there. $13 points and 3 boards per game in her return as she goes 2 from 2. Ryan, Flyers are pressing up. Thornton's there. Foul call. Also referees who do a great job as always. Craig Copes, Mark Grist and Joshua Knight tonight.
You can see the Southside Flyers are wanting to assert themselves early on. In past years, you know, defense probably hasn't been the #1 topic of discussion for the Southside Flyers because they've got so much scoring potential. They're just going to outscore you at any chance. But they know if they're going to be a championship contender, they're going to have to be able to play some defense, especially against the likes of Bendigo and obviously the Melbourne Boomers.
Free ball, not that time. Jackson pulls it down. Cole looking to push the pace. Rochi. Foul call goes against the Lynx. So that's on Chloe Bibby.
Nice little battle here. Chloe met her early, and you could just see probably that little errant elbow from Kayla, but the referee saw it a different way.
Into Cole. First goes for Beck Cole. Having herself another good season so far in the Flyers uniform, shooting above 50% from the field and from 3. Robbie Ryan slipping through, nice move.
Putting on her dancing shoes early, all of 4 points for the Perth Lynx for her. Nice little step through, especially going up against the GOAT in Lauren Jackson.
Thornton posting up, Sharp defending. Fade away from Thornton won't go. Here's Lauren Scherf. She'll put it on the deck and go. Moving it into the corner. Atwell hits the side of the backboard. Blitzarves can look to push the pace. Mid-range J. So Ryan will slow it up for Perth. Import this season for the Lynx. Scherf off the dribble. Turnover. Of course, Lauren Scherf, one of 2 Perth players who have played Lauren Jackson in a WNBL game before. Chloe Bibby the other.
Yeah, Chloe Bibby, I think, got a DMP in her first game. I think she was 16 above playing for Dandenong, and Scherfie, I think, played about 16 minutes. But how good is it? Like, you see Lauren out there, she's 41 years of age, playing against Scherfie, who's about 15 years her junior, and probably grew up watching Lauren. I know we've had these stories throughout, and obviously in the World Cup with girls playing with her that are half her age, but it's just so great. It's so great for the Cygnett WNBL, and it's so great for these girls that they get the honour and privilege of playing with someone of her status.
Roshi to the rack, not that time. Fighting for it down low. It's rolled over the line. Going to be Southside ball.
There hasn't been a lot of structure from the Southside Flyers apart from the first passage of play from the tip-off from them. They're pushing in pace. They're trying to get out early and push the one-on-one contest. It just hasn't fallen for them early on. And obviously we know they've got the scoring opportunities and power with the depth in their starting five and obviously off the bench, and that's something they're going to want to do throughout the rest of the season. But nice to see them get into some half-court sets, slow the game down a little bit and play it at a half-court tempo for a while.
So Perth, via Bibby, gets it into Ryan. Rochi, who's been a defensive dog all season, defending the point. Scherf has Jackson defending her. Here's Bibby. Excuse me, it's Bishop who comes up with it. Cole off the races. The Flyers gets a hand in to Chloe Bibby. Call here from the referee. So Perth will have it again. Approaching halfway through this first quarter at the Bendat Basketball Centre. Last touch by Jackson by the looks. So here's Amy Atwell, one of those returning Aussies. Of course, spent some time with the LA Sparks in the WNBA. Didn't work out on that occasion.
They're playing a lot through Lauren Scherf. We know that she's obviously averaging that just a touch over 5 assists. It's been a nice action from one girl to another in Abby Bishop and Lauren Jackson. They've played many a game together for the UC Caps in their time in their younger years, and rejoining and playing yet again for Southside Flyers. They know how to find each other on this court.
Some smothering defense from Southside there. Jackson pulls it down. Here's Beck Cole. Blitz arms in the corner. Down low to Bishop. Nice pass, Cole. Pump fakes. Can't convert. Sharp hands it to Ryan. Assessing her options. Bibby will fire for 3. Hits the back iron. Cole trying to leapfrog the Townsville Fire into third as round 5 continues. Bishop back down low to Bishop, just a little short. No, it'll fall in. So Bishop, who stepped into the starting lineup last week against Adelaide, comes up with a bucket. Rochi gets a hand in, putting the pressure on the Flyers. Perth move it over. Haven't found the bottom of the net over the last few minutes. Sharp, tough move.
Nice to see them get some penetration, whether it be through dribble or pass there through Sharp and found the bottom of the net. Most of their shots have come from the three-point line. Apart from that and Bobby Ryan's 2 penetrations, they're living and dying by the three-point line early in the first quarter.
Bucket goes for Jackson. Here's Bibby. Scherf. Hand off to Ryan. Working on Rochi. Foul call against the Flyers. Sarah Blitzarves, who was named in the round 4 team of the week last weekend as Jackson takes a break. Here's the skipper, Amy Rochi, as well, off the pine for Cheryl Chambers' team.
And here's the thing for the Southside Flyers, it's just, you know, it'd be nice as Chambers just to get, you look down the bench and you go player after player. Rochi, if it's not her, then it's Abby Bishop coming in for you. It's just exciting. You got Nadia Potch, who's another up-and-coming junior in Australian basketball, on your bench as well. The options are endless as we see Amy Atwell find the bottom of the net. Clinch Hoyhard find the bottom of the net. Known for that, a junior coming out of WA, draining it from deep.
Just what they needed. Perth. Rochi inside. Not that time. Sharp. She'll turn and go. Southside get back in transition. Crafty pass to Sharp if it came off. Not that time. So 3 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Here's that three again from Mackenzie. Clinch Hoykard straight off the bench. Makes herself known. Bishop to inbound for Southside as Alex Sharp takes a break. Rocci, one of the backup guards off the bench. Thornton, defended by Clinch Hoykard. Nice hook shot, falls.
Love the physicality of Kayla Thornton down low, you know, cross screen, she gets some action, she uses her body well. She's a bit of an undersized power forward, if you will, strong and aggressive, averaging some really good points this season. You know, out of Germany, 30-year-old, 8-year pro, undrafted, but a really good recruit because she's going to do the blue-collar work for you. You know, there's not only one basketball to go around for the Southside Flyers. She'll get you your points, and she's doing a great job of that, averaging 18 points and 7 rebounds at a game, but I just love the way she goes about it.
Perth to inbound, fresh 14, Atwell, wide open, baseline J. Southside move it quickly, Poch straight into the ball game.
Talk about someone that loves to play with pace, that's Nadia Poch. Get that girl out on the break and she will do some great things.
Taya Burrows driving on Rocci, good defense. Bishop hands it off to her guard. Had a big game as well last week, Maddie Rocci, 26.6 boards in that loss to Adelaide. Worried Thornton out of it. Here's Scherf. Wide open for three. Clinch Hoykard, back-to-back dribbles.
And that's what that girl can do. She's young, but she's relishing these opportunities. She didn't get much court time last year under Ryan Petrick, and obviously with the departure of a lot of really, really good imports in the likes of Mabry and obviously Jackie Young, she's obviously taking these opportunities with both hands. 2 threes early on in this first quarter for Hoykard. Really nice to see as we see this one in transition.
Came into this game shooting 43% from three. Looking the goods in the first quarter. Rocci. Bishop steps out of range. Amy Rocci flew in over the top. So it's going to go the way of Perth. Foul call assessed on Rocci. Here's Burrows as we approach 100 seconds remaining here before the first break. Driving left, gets Rocci in the air. Stays with the Lynx. Voted as the captain of the Flyers this season by her peers. Here's Atwell. Driving hard inside there was Jessie Edwards, and she will be rewarded with 2 at the line.
Jessie Edwards, another youngster getting opportunity, only averaging the 9 minutes a game, but and 2 points, 3 rebounds, uses her length really well. Another junior, and that's what I like about this lineup, or what the philosophy is with BWA taking over ownership from Bendat from last season, is that they're using WA juniors, which I think is really important across the board in Australia, is that we give young girls an opportunity to be a part of the pathway and into WNBL teams, rather than always looking across the ocean to find someone that's going to make a fix. Stick with what we've got. We've got some great talent in this country, and there's some beautiful players coming up, whether at the COE and in other programs and state programs, and it'd be nice to see a lot more of them on the bench and learning from some of the great veterans that we have in this league.
Edwards splits a pair. Here's another star youngster. Poch goes down low to LJ. Nice move in the post.
LJ playing some big minutes. She played the first 6 minutes, got a sub at the 4-minute mark, and she's Cheryl Chambers and injected her back in because she's obviously not happy with that 3-point lead. You know, Perth Lynx, if I'm them, I'm really happy with where I am heading into the late stages of this first quarter.
Fade away from Bibby. Tough shot. The outstretched arm of Poch. And they've looked good over the last 3 or 4 minutes, Perth, after having only 4 points on the board after 6 minutes of action. 1-point ball game. Here's Monconti inserted into the action. Bishop, low block situation. Fadeaway Jay is good.
I feel like I've seen her do that many, many times throughout her career, that dribble penetration middle and fadeaway baseline jumper. Textbook Abby Bishop.
Burrows probing inside. Hand off to Robbie Ryan. Defense came across late from Bishop. Stays with Perth. So 27 remaining on the game clock. Bishop did just enough. Ten seconds on the shot clock for the Lynx. Scherf. Outside the arc. Into the corner. Bibby will fire, and it goes. So 3 ball has been falling for the Lynx, and we are tied up. Can the Flyers take the lead? Down low to Jackson, uses her body, and she's into double figures. Last minute heave from Ryan, and that will do it for the end of one. The Flyers lead by 2 points after 10 minutes of action. Jenny Screen.
Really loved it, apart from the first couple of minutes, you know, where the Lynx were just relying on that three-point shot. They changed their tact. They did a bit of more dribble penetration. They did some handoff action. They used their mid-range game and got to the rack sometimes as well, and were able to crawl back that deficit. And Southside Flyers had to go, they rotated early into their bench, but they had to bring in some studs back into the lineup. But, you know, if I'm Ryan Petrick, I'm really happy with where the girls are right now. We know the Southside Flyers like to come out with pace. They love to push in that first 8 seconds, but really love the aggressiveness that we're seeing from Atwell. Obviously, Ryan as well here on screen. And then obviously Chloe Bibby, I thought she was sensational in that first quarter for her Perth Lynx. And obviously without Sammy Wickham, they're the 3 main girls that you're going to be looking for them.
It's a huge omission, no doubt about it, for the Perth Lynx. But on fire from the field towards the end of that first quarter. And now it is a 1-possession ball game as Jackson, 4 or 5 from the field, 3 boards, 10 points so far in this ball game. And Chloe Bibby, the leading scorer for the Perth Lynx, with 8. As the second quarter not too far away. Of course, if you're considering travelling interstate with your basketball team, consider CTM Sport for a competitive, innovative and customised travel solution that puts your team on top. Visit ctmsport.com.au to learn more as the stats on your screen right now. The Perth Lynx, 3 of 8 from 3. It seems like the last 3 triples all went down for Perth, Jenny.
They did, well, they did. There were 3 from 3, Liam. And that's what they're known for. You know, Clinch Hoykard comes in and she goes bang, bang, and adds 6 points to her tally. They're the cameo roles that are going to be really important for the Perth Lynx as well. Taya Burrows came in, added some minutes to her name. Obviously, Southside Flyers, they're dominating inside the paint. 16 points out of their 20 coming from inside the keyway. They've got a presence in there. They're going in deep to whether it be Lauren Jackson, Abby Bishop, or Kayla Thornton. Perth Lynx are probably going to have to adjust that, whether they front, whether they send a double down into the low block, try and kick it out, get them to shoot a few more threes potentially. They're only 0 of 2 from there in the first quarter. So let's see what Perth Lynx adjust defensively here.
Southside will start with it. Rochi. Some of the bench unit out there. Monconti with the rock. Cole, cross court. Jackson, corner triple, blocked. Scherf got a fingertip on it. Falls in the lap of Bibby, moves it quickly. Extra pass to the corner. Ryan. Scherf opts to take Bishop off the dribble.
I'm liking that. Lauren Scherf has obviously got authority, and she's been told in the scout, take it off the dribble with, again, when you've got Abby Bishop or Lauren Jackson against you. They're not the greatest anymore laterally in defense, and she's playing really well. And then a couple of stops gives you momentum, and Perth Lynx is starting to put some points on the board.
Retake the lead via that Ryan lay-in. With a life here at the Bendat Basketball Centre for your Thursday night hoops. Here's Bishop. Nice pass, just stepping out of bounds was Amy Rochi.
So unfortunate. A beautiful cut there on the weak side from Amy Rochi. And Abby Bishop, she's done this her whole career. You know, she's not the one that's going to put lots of points on the board. She did early on in her career, but boy, she can make some really beautiful passes as well out of the paint.
She'll take a break, Rochi. Ryan tries to take Conti off the dribble and does.
Well, I don't know what Coach Petrick has said to Ryan, but whatever it is, it's working because that girl is playing with the aggressiveness that I think he signed her for.
Down low to Bishop. Wanted the foul call. She might get it. So we'll get confirmation in a moment on the call. Ryan gets some assistance from her teammates. 6-0 opening to this second quarter for Perth. Last game of the homestand for the Lynx, who've had 4 home games already, Jenny.
They have, and obviously the season hasn't gone to plan for them. I mean, you know, it's a very different team to what it was last year. You would say on paper, it's definitely not the team that they had. They don't have the experience or the imports of this year that they did last, and they're 2 wins and 3 losses, 4 games at home. But you've got to remember, the 3 losses have come all against potential championship winning teams. Bendigo, and they've lost 2 to Boomers at home as well. So it's not that bad. If I was Coach Petrick, I wouldn't be too stressed right now. They've just got to try and get back in the winners column.
Rochi, triple goes, nothing but nylon. Back to a 1-point ball game. As Conti hits the deck, they'll play through it. Here's Bibby. Good opening from her. Atwell in the corner. And Jackson pulls it down to the south side. Here's Conti. Rochi. Driving on Atwell. Nice pass over to Jackson. How's the vision?
Vision indeed, and then obviously the vet knowing where to be. Lauren Jackson, 12 points, leading all scorers.
Rochi averaging 4.5 dimes per game so far this season. A little strong on the 3 was Robbie Ryan. Here's Cole, got around sharp. Jackson from the top.
She is in game mode tonight, is Lauren Jackson, a much-needed break. Just to stem the flow from Ryan Petrick here, and I'm no doubt the 41-year-old needs a breather as well, as she drains it from deep in that transition 5 spot. Does Lauren Jackson.
That is a staple of her game, Jackson. As soon as she was open, you thought it was going to go down. Well, to stay connected with the latest WNBL news and social highlights, keep your favourite tech charged up at home or go on with Cygnett's extensive range of charging products and digital accessories. A big thanks to Cygnett for powering the WNBL with high-quality tech this season. Explore their range at cygnett.com. Big thanks to our partners. So Flyers retake the lead after a quiet opening. Jackson still leading the way for the Flyers with 12 points, 5 boards. After missing last week with illness. Much needed injection into this side who had just the 8 active players last week.
And I think Lauren Jackson staying healthy is going to be a very big key for how deep the Southside Flyers go into the finals. We know they're going to be there. They're going to be in the top 4 without a doubt. But whether they're championship contenders, I think will heavily rely on, and not that they're playing a lot through Lauren, it's just coming organically in the way they play. They've got the rest of the star-studded lineup to fill in for her. But I think it's going to really come down to if she can stay healthy for the rest of the season and push towards the end, then you will see them potentially in the grand final.
So Maddie Rochi, right up on defense. Here's Atwell. Into Ryan, who's really working her way into this season nicely now, Robbie Ryan. Not a good start to this game, early days. Inside to Scherf, just couldn't handle it. 8 points so far in the game for Ryan. Rochi. Cole stops at the free-throw line, steps through, just short. Sharp on the defensive glass. Wants the handoff, gets it over to Atwell. Jackson and Scherf. Puts it behind her back from the charity stripe. Ryan dived in late. Falls in the lap of Conti. Moving it quickly. Blitzarves. Won't fall. Bobby Ryan. Running point on this possession. Scherf at the elbow. Rochi denying the handoff. Backing down Jackson. And LJ comes up with a stop. Can Rochi push the pace? Doing what she does best. Cole for three. And that'll be Perth ball. So these two sides played twice last season. The Lynx won both outings, the most recent in January. Perth prevailing 85-78. Obviously plenty of changes to both rosters since.
Yeah, very big changes. Southside Flyers had a great team last year. Obviously, Jenna O'Hay, the former Opals captain, retiring. She was a part of that team as well. But then, you know, they've signed in the off-season Lauren Jackson, and Abby Bishop is obviously returning. She was injured towards the latter pages of last season as well. So it was an injury-riddled season for Southside Flyers. Didn't go to plan of what they probably assumed they would get. But this year it's a totally different story. And then Perth, well, another story as well. But how good is it, an opportunity for these young guns to get an opportunity to play in this league that is the WNBL.
And one of those former Flyers as well, Kate Gaze, has just re-entered the WNBL with Townsville. So big shout out to Kate. Here's Jackson. Conti. Not that time, hits the back heel. Jackson muscles down the rebound. Second chance, and one. So LJ with an opportunity for one more. And this is some first half she's putting together.
She is meaning business tonight. She is battling down low, stacking it up in terms of rebound. She's got 7 for the game, 15 points as well to lead in both those categories for either team. But you can see in that huddle right there, she's determined. She wants this win. She wants to get it done. She probably doesn't want to do it in the amount of minutes she's having to play right now at the age she is, but she's definitely leading from the front for the Southside Flyers in this first half.
First free throw goes. So she completes the N1 play. 5-point lead to the Flyers. Halfway through this second quarter at the Bendat Basketball Centre. Both these sides jostling for these mid-table positions on the ladder. Trying to erase the loss of last week. Burrows had it poked away by Rochi. Here's Maddie Rochi. Blitzarves, extra pass. Couldn't get the finish. Burrows slingshotting the other way for Perth. Paint clogged up by blue jerseys. Blitzarves just run out of real estate. And she'll take a break, Sarah Blitzarves. $12 points per game this season, 6 boards. And a stacked Southside lineup. Here's Burrows. Clinch Hoykard, 2 from 2 in that first quarter. That one, not quite. Came off the shin of Scherf. As we see the first minutes as well from Carly Ernst in the ball game. One of the many outside threats for this Flyers side.
All players have hit the court for the Southside Flyers in the opening half of this game, which is a nice luxury to have, that you can trust any of those players, especially the likes of Carly Ernst. She's a veteran of this league. She's played a very long time. We know what she's capable of in shooting the long ball. Loves it.
So Rochi. Cole down low, Bishop. Nice pass, Rochi. 2 shots. Ernst, one of 4 Flyers shooting above 40% from 3 here through 5 games. Maddie Rochi moving down from Canberra now a couple of years back. A really key cog of this Southside roster.
Yeah, she's a Victorian girl, Melbourne, you know, returning home. She's got a lot of family here, and after spending a few years in obviously the capital, she's really enjoying being the mainstay and the point guard of this Southside Flyers unit.
On cue, gets one to go off the window. Flyers extend the lead to 8. Burrows driving on Ernst. First points for Taya Burrows. Rochi hands it off to her big and Bishop. Atwell defending Bishop. Cutting is Cole and travel.
They do that so well, the Southside Flyers, when you've got targets like Abby Bishop, Lauren Jackson, and then obviously Kayla Thornton as well in the low block or at the elbow. The cutting action off those big plays is really nice to watch, and although that was a turnover there, the ability for those big girls to be able to pass and find their sisters in the guards cutting off is just exceptional basketball.
As Burrows missing on that occasion. Ernst provides the screen for Rochi. Bishop. Down low to Ernst, missing. Now Robbie Ryan for the Lynx. Driving on Rochi, here's Clinch Hoykart. Out of the perimeter, floater no good. 3 minutes remaining before the main break here in Perth. Rochi has Bibby in front of her. Just miscue. So they turn it over. The Lynx come up with it. Clinch Hoykart getting herself back in the action. Here's Robbie Ryan. Opted against the triple. Now Sharp will pull up mid-range too. That'll be a foul call against Chloe Bibby.
Not a bad foul to give up in the context of the game, because we know Southside like to get out and run. If that had been a clean rebound from Rochi there, she would have been pushing downhill as fast as she could, and they want to try and contain this lead right now. It's only a 6-point deficit. There's only 2.5 minutes to go into halftime. If they can just stay around Southside right now, that just gives them opportunities and hope and momentum running into the second half.
Jackson replaces Bishop. Of course, you are still able to donate to help fight period poverty as the league pushes onwards to reach the $25,000 goal. Donate at sharethedignity.org.au. As Jackson wide open, long two. Sherp was first to it. We're headed the other way. So timeout on the floor. 2 minutes out from the main break here. Southside with the lead. Perth hanging around though, Jenny Scream.
They are indeed. They're doing really well. I mean, Sammy Whitcomb's probably watching on, you know, giving her, or watching on. We know she's sick, she's not injured, and she'll probably be returning for their next game. But Southside Flyers are doing a really great job. They've stemmed the flow in terms of the push in the pace. Southside Flyers are getting out and run. Let's make no mistake about that. They haven't found the bottom of the net, and they've missed some bunnies around those options. But Cheryl will be pretty happy with where they're at right now. Both teams are shooting at a really good clip. 42 and 44% are both teams, and they're going inside. We know who the target is. It's Lauren Jackson. She's got 18 points thus far. There's still over 20 minutes to go in this game, and she's adding 8 rebounds to that. And when you've got someone of her dominance, her height, her experience, why wouldn't we go to that as well, as we see Maddie Rochi finding her. And then on the flip side, Lauren Scherf is doing a great job. They play out a lot of high post action with Lauren Scherf down the other end. Amy Atwell being the beneficiary of that, and Chloe Bibby as well. But Lauren Jackson, she is a nightmare for Perth Lynx right now.
She's been the dominant figure on the floor so far. 7 of 11 from the field. Perfect from beyond the arc with the 1 triple. So 6-point ball game, 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. Burrows, Sharp inside, moving it quickly. Perth wide open, great movement.
And that's nice. Inside, outside, shift the zone there. There was a bit of a 1-2-2 zone there shown by Southside Flyers out of that timeout. And, well, Perth Lynx just lapped it up and went 1-2-3 whack with some beautiful passing around the outside.
Need to chat things over. Cheryl Chambers' crew. Over 300 games experience as head coach in this league. Cheryl Chambers, assistant coach of the Opals as well. About recent bronze medal winning run.
She's been around a long time, coached the former Melbourne Boomers known as Bulleen, and then obviously went up to Sydney, won a championship there in the WNBL with them, and then obviously has returned to Melbourne with the Southside Flyers, has been head of that team for many years now, and obviously hasn't reached the stakes that they probably wanted, and they've always had the cattle to do it, but this year is no different. They've definitely got the players, the depth, the experience, and about knowing what it takes to win championships in the WNBL, and make no mistake about it, they'll be right there pushing come February, March next year.
It's an unbelievable assortment of local talent, and then to add to that, their second import in history since rebranding as the Flyers in Thornton. Here's Amy Rocci. Retrieves it back. Blitzarves providing assistance. Here's Bishop. Rocci down low. Bishop, space to get her shot off, and Burrows for Perth. She'll turn and go. Hands it over to Ryan. Lauren Scherf averaging over 5 assists per game. Good for 5th in the WNBL so far this season. Burrows, not that time on the lay-in. Maddie Rocci now probing. Trying to work inside on Scherf. Jackson, good contest there from Sharp. So it'll be Perth ball with 60 seconds to go in the second. Might have been last touched by Blitzarves. So Ryan, leading scorer, still in this game for Perth. Clinch Hoycard. Atwell gets her shot away and somehow doesn't go. Rocci. Now down low to Bishop. Working. And draws the foul. Chance for one more.
Bit of a dry spell there for the Southside Flyers for a couple of minutes. They've had some good looks, just haven't been a finish, and obviously the instruction is to go inside, use our targets, Bishop, Jackson, Thornton, who hasn't seen a lot of court time in this second quarter either. Maybe they're just looking at her and resting her because of her ankle as well, and you can see her there sitting down at the end of the bench. Be interesting to see if she returns for the second half, but while she might be a loss, when you've got Abby Bishop and the likes of Lauren Jackson as well, they can step up in replacing her.
Free throw goes. Of course, that ankle injury for Thornton sustained in the shoot-around prior to the round 4 Adelaide game. Taking no chances. Foul call against Rocci. Six-point lead to Southside. So Bibby has 3 for Perth in the foul column. And from the Southside perspective, no players in any real foul trouble.
Really important play here, 14 seconds left on the shot clock for the Perth Lynx. 2-possession ball game. They get a score here, reduce the margin, get a stop to down the other end. They're going into the halftime break with momentum.
Ryan, down low, Scherf. Can they grasp the opportunity? And Scherf meets the moment. 6 seconds, Rocci tries to return fire, draws the foul on Ryan. And she'll earn herself 2 shots.
That's smart by Rocci. Obviously, that's the 5th team foul. Just pushing, running downhill. Knows the clock's running out. 2.8 seconds on the clock. Put pressure on the referees to call the foul. Get your feet in the paint and get yourself to the foul line. Well done there by Maddie Rocci.
6 points, 2 dimes so far, as that one falls. Not that time. Sure first to it. And it'll be the Lynx ball, 0.8 on the clock. Can they get a last second heave? Ryan. And time will expire. So a 5-point lead to the Southside Flyers at the halftime break, 40-35. But it is well and truly game on here at the Bendat Basketball Centre to a Sammy Whitcomb-less Perth Lynx. They are not going away, Jenny Screen.
No, they're not, Liam, and if I'm being honest, I didn't think this would be the score sky, and with no disrespect to the Perth Lynx, I thought the Southside Flyers were going to come out and whack them early, but credit to Ryan Petrick and his Perth Lynx. They might be down one of their studs in Sammy Whitcomb, but boy, oh boy, are some of their girls standing up, and that's one of them there, Lauren Scherf. She is not backing down against the GOAT, Lauren Jackson. If anything, she's relishing the opportunity. She's thinking, how good is this that I get to play against her? But Lauren Jackson is having a night out as well, leading all scorers with 18 points and 9 rebounds, turning back the clock a bit. And that's the greatest thing about the Southside Flyers. It might be Lauren Jackson one night dominating, but then it could be Beck Cole, it could be Maddie Rocci. Throughout all their wins this season, they've had multiple players, over 5, leading their scorers on the scoreboard.
Away. Now fires away for 3 and got it. Off the steal and then the score.
For Bendigo, and Maley fires for 3 and nails it from deep. Nice move from Maley and another basket for her.
The third quarter onwards. Maley off the window, good, wow.
Turns it over, Bell there, ready to grab it. Put some speed on. Behind that pass to Munro for the finish.
We might see that in the top 5 plays of the week.
Wilson straight to the rack and scores. Oh, now turnover, and guess who? Kelsey Griffith goes up, layup, straight to the basket, and it gets it to fall.
Long-range shot is good from Whittle.
It's our first $50.
Share the dignity, $50 for every 3-pointer sunk across round 4.
Cygnett is thrilled to be able to donate $5,000 to Share the Dignity.
Throws it out, 3-point basket. Another $50 for the fighting period poverty round. Final total of $8,750. Absolutely outstanding.
To be able to see the girls talking about periods and just get over it, and the normality of talking, having these conversations is so, makes my heart sing.
Prepare your taste buds.
Hungry?
Famished.
For 6 delicious nights on 9.
Dare to replicate the snack.
Australia's best chefs. Head-to-head, recreating our most iconic snacks.
I think I stuffed this up. Get it together. I know you've got this.
It looks like salt and pepper calamari.
New Snack Masters. Stream the latest episodes on 9 now.
You know they don't teach in PI schools how to get the money shot.
They're undercover.
What are you doing?
That is how you get the money shot.
Cracking cases.
Nothing says I'm stalking you like a hidden camera.
The old-fashioned way. Jason Priestley.
Are you nuts?
It's a rental.
Private Eyes. Stream complete seasons on 9 now.
You ever get that feeling that one choice could change your whole life?
What if you chose passion?
And what is it that you want to do?
I'm gonna be the next Billy Joel. Guy can dream, right?
What if you chose family?
You saved a man's life. Your dad would be proud of you.
What if you chose love?
Can you believe we made him?
At least we did one thing right.
It's only natural to wonder what if.
Ordinary Joe. Stream every episode on 9 Now.
I have a family that I have to get back to.
The wait
Gavin.
is over.
And I know that's something that you understand. Welcome home. We're being hunted.
No! More sinkholes are coming.
How deep
Let's go!
does the mystery go?
You are never going to believe what happened.
La Brea Season 2. Stream the latest episodes on 9 Now.
Introducing She Hoops, an Australian-first online platform for women in basketball. From live mentoring sessions to panel sessions, exclusive interviews with the biggest names in the sport, education and upskilling courses.
Do not underestimate the power of a good blind. Take this exhausted couch. Now it stands before you. Magnifique. Even this cocktail of dead skin is gracefully waltzing. Da 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 da. DIY blinds. Change the ugly.
They donated toxic land to a school. Someone put it there, deliberately.
You said this case was unwinnable.
Don't make this personal. It's already personal. Dad, what happened here? There's something you're not telling me.
Burden of Truth. Stream complete seasons on 9 Now.
Records will tumble. Heroes born. The world's best short course superstars go for gold. Live from Melbourne, Kyle Chalmers, Mac Horton, Emma McKeon, Brendan Smith, Minna Atherton and Katie McEwen lead a world-class Aussie team. Ariane Titmus, Ian Thorpe and Gian Rooney host the FIBA World Swimming Champs. Starts Tuesday on 9 and 9 Now. It's the biggest WNBL season yet, and superstar Lauren Jackson returns. Turn it up. Don't miss a block, basket, or game winner.
Just not steal the win.
WNBL, live on 9 Now.
You get one song to listen to for the rest of your life. What is it?
Oh my gosh, this is one I couldn't get. I think I dozed off.
Oh, this is a hard one. Feel So Close by Calvin Harris.
Dancing in the Moonlight. Justin Bieber, You, because it's my wedding.
I Thought You Got Me.
Location by Dave and Burna Boy.
Oh, something by Drake.
That's a tough one. Maybe like Flight Facilities, Claire de Lune, something like that.
Untouched by the Breakers.
I feel. Oh no!
Heartache on the Dance Floor is what I just said my favourite song was last week, so I better go with that.
Oh, Candy Shop.
That's the first thing
on the Perth Lynx rather. Understanding two tempos. Like they're a team that love to play with pace. They love to get out and run. They've got the girls and the athleticism to be able to do it, but it's understanding when to do that. They need a better balance of playing, you know, between pace and then knowing when to pull it out, get a good set, and get it through hands and get it to the right person when it's needed. And if they can do that a little bit better, you know, we probably might see this score stretch out a little bit more. Interesting, Kayla Thornton didn't play a lot in that first half either. Interesting, she's starting the second half, so it'll be whether that's an ankle thing, I'm not sure, but you know, considering she's one of the starting players, she only played 6 minutes in that first half, and it was pretty quiet. So, but obviously, you know, Lauren Jackson's doing a great job. Abby Bishop's come off the bench and done exceptionally well, as well. 7 rebounds to her name and 7 points. And then on the flip side, Lauren Scherf is leading in all statistical categories for her Perth Lynx tonight in both rebounds, points, and assists.
So the Flyers just with the 6 3-point attempts as well in the first half. This the third quarter just about to get back underway. The Lynx without Sammy Whitcomb today, who's just joined us due to illness. They've had the likes of Robbie Ryan step up. Lauren Scherf as always. Chloe Bibby's been fantastic. She's nursing the 3 personals though. They come up with a steal, Perth. Atwell pushing the pace, Thornton ahead of her, gets the call.
Couldn't ask for a better start. The Perth Lynx, a steal, and then off to the races, and Amy Atwell at the foul line. That's what you want. Get your offense up and running through your defense. And Amy Atwell's just settling into life in the WNBL now. She's got 5 games under her belt and, you know, had a great illustrious college career, got drafted as well, which is pretty exciting for her and a dream come true. But she said she always had hopes and aspirations of coming back and playing in the WNBL, and look at her now. She's getting to do that.
2 from 2 there. Coming into the game, 83% clip from the line. Thornton back out there. She'll go to the charity stripe. Looks to be assessed on Robbie Ryan. I was impressed with her first half as well, Jenny, Robbie Ryan.
Absolutely, I thought she was aggressive. Her tempo, her ability to know when to penetrate, to when to pull it out. Her two-play game with Lauren Scherf was really crafty as well. And I think she's coming into her own. She's getting comfortable. It's a step up from NBL 1 in the West to the WNBL, and so it should be. But Mike Petrick believes in her, and he signed her for a reason. And now he's obviously reaping the benefits. And I think we're only going to see her get better and better.
So Thornton takes care of business. Here is Ryan. Brocci defending her. Here's Sharp. Scherf with the pick. Inside the paint, Cole came from over the back. So Ryan to the line. A few free throws so far early in this third quarter.
She doesn't seem to have a lot of speed, does Ryan, that change of pace and that quickness that you would come to know with point guards. But what she does have is just a control and poise in her dribbling. She reads the game well, and she almost just snakes her way through the offensive penetration like she did just then, and got fouled out there by the Southside Flyers.
Into double digits with 10 now is Robbie Ryan. Back to 3 for Perth. Cole. Now Thornton. Backing down, clinch Hoykard. Fading away for 2. Too short. Long rebound falls to Amy Atwell. Ryan. And Cole in the air momentarily. Inside the paint, Ryan Lilly. Thornton can push the pace. On the wing, Scherf defending her. Thornton will fire for 3.
Never looked like missing as soon as it was released from her hand. Probably not known for a 3-point shooting, but a beautiful release and a beautiful finish.
Moving well and looking confident to start this third quarter is Kayla Thornton. Brocci poked at it. That'll be a foul. There's that Thornton triple again. Came out with a bang this WNBL season with a big opening night performance against the Adelaide Lightning at the State Basketball Centre. Returning from the ankle injury last week. Top 10 in the league in scoring. Here's Lauren Scherf. Jackson did just enough. Thornton moving it quickly. Sarah Blitzarves. Nearly ran out of space. Jackson for three. Long read out to Rochi. Now it's her turn. Creating extra opportunities at the Flyers. Jackson will provide the pick. Thornton created some room on Sharp, a little short. And Rochi somehow with the O-board. Perth, you'd think, and Ryan Petrick wouldn't be happy with that one.
No, 2 possessions that they've given up. They're 2 offensive rebounds. They only gave up 3, which is pretty good in the first half, coming up against Southside Flyers and the height that they have. But 2 offensive boards to a powerhouse team like Southside Flyers in quick succession doesn't lead to good things.
Rochi got it into Thornton. She'll go again. Blitzarves. So finally, a run of offensive rebounds. Perth see it off. Atwell, 2-on-1. Jackson with the denial. Rochi the other way. 2-on-2 situation if they move it quick. Cole, long range 2, ends a crazy sequence. 8-point lead to Southside. 3 ball won't go. Rochi moving through.
And that's a 6-point run to the Southside Flyers coming out of the third quarter. Apart from Ryan's 2 points at the start, it's getting dry on the offensive end for the Perth Lynx at the moment.
Atwell, Cole gambled for the steal. Can't make her pay. Blitzarves pulls it down. Thornton has Sharp defending her. Muscles her way through. And once again, on the O-glass, Ryan Petrick is going to chat things over with his team.
Damn, she's tough. She's just a beast down there in the low block. How good is this league? Normally it's a guard-dominant league, but I feel like in the WNBL this year is we're a power forward type of league. You got Thornton, you got Jackson, you got Maley, you got Griffin. I could go on. You got Kayla George as well from the Melbourne Boomers, and I love that we're bringing back the big girl. We're banging down low, and she was proud of that. You know, she followed up on the offensive glass as well and got the putback. But it's just nice to see the presence of the big girl in this league, in the league this year.
Of course, this timeout is brought to you by DIY Blinds. To fit out your home with Australian-made designer quality window furnishings at the best prices, head to DIYblinds.com.au to order your free samples today. And Jenny, I just wonder as well, I mean, we saw that sort of sequence where there was 5 offensive rebounds in a row. Perth saw it off. Now they've just had a couple of buckets in a row. It's a 12-point lead.
I know, and they were only down by a couple of buckets at halftime, 5 points. In fact, and that's the thing you can't do against the Southside Flyers. It's got to be one and done. Any second possessions, they're going to punish you, and they're going to punish you hard, and that shows in the scoreline right now in the third quarter. But now, timeout, breather, they recollect themselves. They probably get some good looks here offensively, but it's on the defensive end. They've got to shut it down.
Ryan with the rock for Perth. Atwell poked away. Southside with a stop. Coming in was Sharp. So looks to be assessed on Rochi. Here it is again. In fact, it will be Alex Sharp. So Maddie Rochi with the rock. Down low to Jackson. Coming over for the double was Ryan. And Atwell pulls it down. Ryan trying to work inside on Blitzarves. Runs into the brick wall of Jackson. Lauren Scherf for 3. 9-point ball game. And it's the first 3 of the game for Scherf. Rochi tried to find Jackson, found the rim. So Robbie Ryan puts her behind her back, loses her footing. Poked out to Cole. She's off to the races. Atwell, chase down, wins it for her side. Last touch, Beck Cole.
And that's the desperation that you need and you want to see, especially when you're in catch-up mode. You know, they're down by 9 points at the moment. An unlucky turnover there was almost going to be a crazy, sick move here by Ryan. Just whacking it behind her back. Got a little bit of a trip there and then Cole off to the races. But have a look at Amy Atwell chasing her down. That desperation, they're the little 1%ers things that you need when you're down.
Sure. Top of the painted area. They'll get another chance. 10 on the shot clock. A comeback trail here in this third quarter. Poked out by either one of Blitzarms or Bishop. Ryan into Bibby. Straight away fires.
That's a shot pocket on that. Patched it above her logo. Beautiful. Never looked like missing as soon as she catch, and we know she's a shooter. She has been her whole career. She made a name for herself in college doing that, but high release point makes it hard to guard, and that's a tough shot, especially over the length of Abby Bishop.
Now 7 in the ball game now, shooting 47% from the field on the season. Gold ups it down low. Blitzarves. Perth with a steal, and foul call will go against Southside.
Blitzarves statistically, you know, she's played 18 minutes, got the 2 points, 1 of 5 and 4 rebounds to her name. And most would be sitting there going, she's pretty quiet. She's averaging over 12 points a game and 6 rebounds. But her plus minus is really good. She's 17 for the game. Now, what does that mean? That means that she's having an effect on her team when she's on the court. She's got a few hands to a few offensive rebounds as well that will never come up as stats, but gives her opportunities to her other teammates as well. So while she may not be dominating the stat sheet, she's getting it done in other ways, as we see an unsportsmanlike foul here.
Abby Bishop chatting things over with the referees. Perth crowd happy with the call. 7-point margin halfway through this third quarter. Atwell will shoot the free throw. She'll have another chance. And that time, entrusted with the shot, makes it count. They retain possession. Into Ryan. She's got 4 dimes so far this evening. Scherf, top of the keyway. Nice pass to Bibby. Couldn't make it count. Maddie Rochi running downhill. Jackson moves it on.
Beautiful pass.
Now Amy Rochi on the lay-in. Couldn't make it fall. Here's Lauren Scherf. The two bigs, long way from home. Poked out by Bishop. Perth with some mini momentum here. Atwell moves it in. Taya Burrows re-injected into the ball game. After that successful shift at the end of the second, Chloe Bibby from downtown.
Well, she's making us up for lost time in that first half, sitting and nursing 3 fouls. She's averaging 70 points a game and doing a great job here in the second half with 10.
Perth bench wanted to travel on Cole. Still Southside ball. Jackson for 3.
Chloe Bibby says, you want to shoot it on me? I'll come down the other end and shoot it on you, girl.
Brings it back to 6. She's into double digits now as well, Bibby. Jackson still leading the way. First points in the second half for her. Rochi on the defensive glass. Here's Amy Rochi. Bishop hands it off to Beck Cole. Back out to Jackson. She'll go again from 3. Burrows the other way. Inside the painted area and turnover. Unless Scherf can get there, Rochi flying in. And somehow, Perth come up with the basketball. So Sharp. Call here from the referee.
Well,
situation.
It's been the case of the third quarter of like the bouncing ball. I feel like it's been a bit of a pinball machine at times. No one wanting really to pick up the ball, or it's just been too hard on the catch. But finally, Perth came up with possession and didn't get the shot to fall here. They only had 5 seconds on the shot clock, so it had to be a quick shot regardless. But a nice defensive step here. Potentially a couple of stops, and they're still around. They're still hanging around and making a problem for the Southside Flyers.
Got it back to 3 at one stage after that. Chloe Bibby, 3 ball. Here's Rochi. Cole, Thornton, back out there, provides the pick. From the charity stripe, no good. Burrows moves it quick. They'll go again from 3. Hits the heel, no good. Rochi hesitates, backs it out. Cole, good contest from Scherf. The Lynx are making a game of this one for your Thursday night hoops. Without their star and Sammy Whitcomb. 3 ball again. Bishop. Back to Rochi. Robbie Ryan set to re-enter for Perth. Cole in the corner. Quickly down low to Rochi. Thornton again on the O-glass. Blocked. Rochi comes up with it. Thought about the triple. Steps inside the arc and short. Burrows moving it quickly. Bibby into the corner. Clinch. Hoycard won't go.
Perth have had some good looks. They've had some good opportunities. Some are probably better than others. They've relied heavily on the three-point line, but we know that's what they're good at. They just haven't been able to find the bottom of the net. And when you're down by as many as they are, just want a few of them to fall, and it just changes the whole dynamic of this game, because they're doing a great job defensively, or the best that they can. They just can't convert on the other end at the moment.
Finally, the Flyers get some points to drop in the painted area. Dominated on the O-glass this quarter, Jenny. They've had relatively low reward, it feels like.
They have, but at least they're battling. I mean, they're doing really well in terms of their offensive rebounding. And 12 offensive rebounds. They had 3 at halftime. You know, 9 for a quarter is not good against a team like Southside Flyers. They'll punish you, but, you know, they haven't really punished Perth like they could potentially in the possession game of that. But you know, someone like Thornton going up after her shots like she is, just going to make for a hard night.
Bobbles out for Thornton. Remains the 8-point margin. Sharp moves it on. Burrows hands it back. Thornton with the stop. Rochi slows it up by Thornton. Less than a minute to go now before the final break. Can they make it a double-digit ball game, Southside? Down low to Bishop. And the finish. 10-point lead to the Flyers. Burrows. Blocked by Rochi. So last touch by the Flyers.
And again, Taya Burrows did a great job of getting her feet deep in the paint. She drew the defense. She had 2 on her. She just needed to look for the kick and the outlet on the weak side there, rather than that unfortunate turnover.
Flyers ball. Jackson reinserted into the ball game. Blitzards. Hands it down low, working inside, little short. Scherf couldn't come up with a rebound, and Jackson takes advantage.
I'll have to give that assist to Lauren Scherf there. Ricocheted off her hand on trying to secure the defensive rebounds. Falls into the hands of Lauren Jackson for an easy 2.
Unlucky break for Perth, and they can't get the shot off. So big third quarter from the visitors. And the Southside Flyers lead by 12 with a quarter to come, Jenny Screen.
Down by 5 at the halftime break, and then to blow it out by 12. The only reason they're in that position is the possession game. They gave up too many offensive rebounds, 10 in fact, to the Southside Flyers in that third quarter, and that just means more shot opportunities, more opportunities for the Southside Flyers to find the bottom of the net, and that, in fact, they did. They're lucky that it wasn't even a 20-point blowout, considering Southside couldn't put it away at times. But you know, credit to Perth Lynx. They've had some great looks. They've pushed really hard. They've had some good sets. Their options are really nice to watch, and they play some really nice basketball. They just haven't been able to convert on the offensive end either.
So 4 starters for Southside with 2 offensive rebounds or more. It's Kayla Thornton with 5. She's got 10 boards along with Jackson, who has a double-double, 23 and 11 with a quarter to come here. Having herself a night out. There's LJ. There's some of that dominance on the glass from Thornton. And Perth, who have been in this ball game for so much of it, Jenny, what have they got to do to make a fist out of it with 10 minutes to come for Ryan Petrick's team?
Well, it's the same story pretty much. One and done. You can't give any more possessions than 1 to the Southsides in any offensive set, and close up, get into a defensive rebounding contest. Boxing out is really important. And then on the offensive end, still create the looks, still give yourself a chance from the three-point line. They're 6 of 23, not the greatest clip. They average just over 30% for the season thus far. 26 isn't great. They've had some good looks in penetration as well, but you know, if a few of those dropped in that end of that third quarter, we'd be having a different conversation here. It wouldn't be a 12-point ball game. It'd probably be about a 4-point ball game. But there's still a lot of oxygen left in this fourth quarter.
Points in the paint numbers as well stand out, 34 to 18 in favour of the visitors. They'll opt with Jackson and Bishop to start this fourth quarter. Thornton on the pine. After a big third quarter for her, Kayla Thornton. Atwell to inbound. Here's Ryan and Rochi. Scherf working hard to create movement. Atwell down low to Scherf at the opposite block. Jackson comes across and commits the foul.
Really good set there from the Perth Lynx to come out in the start of this fourth quarter. Some nice little ball reversal, got some action down low, across screen to get the target, Lauren Scherf, who she has been all night a target for her team. Only to 7 points, but collecting 10 boards and 4 assists. She's doing a fair bit of sharing the load in the absence of their engine and captain in Sammy Whitcomb.
Certainly is. 10 boards for Scherf, and she takes care of business at the line. Rochi gets it over to Bishop. Crowd involved here at the Bendat Basketball Centre. Jackson retrieves it back, fires straight away off the window. Atwell will launch an attack off the rebound. Now Scherf gets past Jackson and finishes with one more to come at the charity stripe.
And that all came off the defense. They showed a 1-2-2 press off the score from Lauren Scherf at the foul line, and then got the defensive stop with going into a 2-3 zone. Lauren obviously took that 3, and they were able to go and push in pace in that set there. And Lauren obviously just got a little bit misfooted there with Lauren Scherf taking it to the rack.
Scherf at the line, converts. 7-point ball game. Perth are right in it. Keeping the Flyers honest in the backcourt. Blitzarves. Jackson posting up. Bibby came across.
And I like the change-up. I like that they're in this 2-3 zone. You know, Southside, whilst they're shooting at a pretty good clip at 33% for the season from the three-point line, they haven't really taken a lot tonight. 4 of 13, 30%. Still an okay look, but they've been dominating in the paint, so I like that they're throwing at something different at them.
Amy Rochi, step back three. Not that time. Sharp. Now Scherf will step into it. Hey! Lauren Scherf from downtown. If you don't mind, timeout on the floor, and it's back to a 4-point game, Jenny Screen.
And you can see her saying, let's go, let's go. What do we got to lose here? 8 points for Lauren Scherf to open her account in this first quarter. Huge, huge. And you can see how much it means to her. You can see how much it means for them to need to get back into the winning column. A ball game, Liam. We've got a ball game.
Absolutely. Lauren Scherf reels off 6 points in just a couple of minutes. And of course, this timeout is brought to you by Aussie Hoops. The Aussie Hoops program had its biggest year to date with over 42,000 participants registering to a local Aussie Hoops centre nearby. Aussie Hoops is the perfect introduction to the world of basketball for kids aged 5 to 10 years. Whether your little one is a seasoned basketball fan or simply looking to get out there and give it a go, we have no doubt they'll have an absolute ball of a time. Register now at aussiehoops.basketball to kickstart your basketball journey. And after it was a 12-point margin at three-quarter time, the Lynx have rolled it all the way back to a 2-possession ball game. Only been a minute 10 in this fourth as well, Jenny.
It has, and it's all come off the defensive end. That zone is throwing the Southside Flyers a lot, so it'll be interesting out of this timeout whether Petrick stays in it. Obviously, he's just doing it in a scoring scenario in the defensive set, but it'll be interesting if they stay in it. I hope they do. They may not here for a little bit, and they'll maybe jump back into it, but you can see again the 1-2-2 press.
Rochi. She'll set things up for the Flyers. Cole in the corner. Scherf. Last touch, Jackson.
So you can see the chess game now between the two coaches. Out of that timeout, they showed a 1-2-2 press, but on the first cut, they went back into a matchup, into a man-on-man kind of defense, and another turnover. 3 turnovers for the Southside Flyers, or rather 2 missed shots and a turnover for the Southside Flyers to start this fourth.
Sharp. Down low to Scherf. She's feeling it at the moment. Won't go that time. Jackson on the defensive glass. Rochi moves it quickly and rewards Blitzarves. Good fast break offense from the Flyers. Ryan finds a way into the paint. Penetrates, dishes out. And Sharp was way off. Now Amy Rochi finds herself in some space. Blitzarves.
Beautiful pass there by the captain, Amy Rochi, to find Sarah Blitzarves. Nice little 1-2 combination there.
Back-to-back buckets in the paint for Blitzarves. Here's Scherf. Might have just wrapped around, says Cheryl Chambers. What a battle we're witnessing between the two Laurens at the moment in the 5 position, Jenny. Lauren Jackson having herself a ball game, 23-12, but Lauren Scherf has worked her way into this one in the 4th.
Yeah, both ladies have a double-double, doing a really good job in trying to get that win and that big dub for their team tonight.
Rochi. Robbie Ryan came across late, stays with the visitors. A lot of ramifications here in this one. Perth can move above Southside with a victory tonight. Rochi. Jackson with a pick. Driving on Scherf. Clean defense. And Perth ball.
That's pretty solid. And Perth Lynx, you know, in years past, you know, pick and roll defense hasn't been something they've been strong at. And that scenario there was a switch there. Lauren didn't bail out. Rochi on the penetration just held her ground and got another turnover.
Lauren Scherf off the dribble. Jackson comes up with it via Beth Cole. Thought about the dribble. gone over into the backcourt. So both sides with relatively unforced errors. Bibby will inbound, reinserted into the fray for Perth. Trying to trim that 8-point lead. Take the handoff to Scherf. Burrows. Single-digit shot clock, Bibby steps out of range for three, where she's most comfortable.
She is money, and you can see that they're going to her on that. Taylor Burrows had the handoff to Scherf, and then that little down screen, and just was a little bit of a decoy and a go screen, if you will, to get her defender off the mark a little bit. As you see and hear the crowd starting to get about it. The girls are hanging around. 5 points, they're within. It's within their grasp. They can just continue to lock in on the defensive end here, and as we see the 1-2 combination between Scherfie, and that's why she's leading her team in assists this year with 5.3, as they play a lot through her in that high catch and elbow position in their offensive sets.
Taya Burrows getting some big minutes here in this fourth quarter. Scherf to Bibby. Atwell wide open, a little left. Bishop pulls it down. Rochi pushing the pace. Conti out there as well for the Flyers. Tried to get it down low to Bishop, did well. Well placed, and the finish.
Simple there, simple basketball from Abby Bishop. Injects herself into the game really quickly. Nice little post up and a nice little finish.
Burrows penetrates, backs it out to Sharp, who misses. Flyers, chance to bring it back out as turning it over. Lauren Scherf can just waltz in. Easy bucket. Turnovers been an issue in the fourth for Southside. Now Taya Burrows diving in. That'll go against the Lynx. So 12 turnovers in the game for Perth, 11 for Southside. If you're Ryan Petrick, though, you've got to love the hustle there from Taya Burrows.
Yeah, you're happy with that. That's their first foul in the fourth quarter. There's still 5 minutes of game clock left in this one. So if it gets down to the wire, they've got fouls to give. They can still have that physicality and you know, up the ante, if you will, put the Southside Flyers under a little bit of pressure and hopefully create a little bit more turnovers.
So Bishop really disposed of it. It'll stay with the Flyers. Hovering around this 5-point margin. Maddie Rochi with 14 to work with. Into Blitzarves. Easy, uncontested too. Burrows. And foul ball on Monconti.
Great composure being shown here by Taylor Burrows. Obviously, Sammy Whitcomb out. A lot of the responsibility will be falling, obviously, to Ryan and to her. And she's come in and played a really good cameo role. Not being too flustered. You know, hasn't had a lot of minutes in this league in her career thus far, but she's doing a great job tonight, considering the context of the game.
Scherf. Nice pass to a cutting Bibby. Offensive foul. Goes against Alex Sharp. She looks bemused with the call. But Cole was there.
Well, that wasn't the issue for me. The first foul was the first one on the penetration there from Chloe Bibby. There was a nice little hack and whack there on the penetration, or the cutting action, I should say, and the referees saw it otherwise.
There it is one last time, and Beck Cole met with some congratulations from her teammates. That's a lifting moment for Cheryl Chambers' team. Looking to press up in defense here. Other Lynx. And again, limited minutes today for Kayla Thornton. Haven't seen too much of her so far in this fourth period.
But she's been effective when she's come in, and obviously she's still nursing that injury in her ankle that she suffered in the shoot-around in round 4, and obviously they're protecting her a little bit, knowing that they've got some tough games ahead.
Certainly. Here's Rochi. Now Cole gets around Scherf and finishes.
That's a tough finish there from Beck Cole. She's having a great season, averaging 14 points, a little bit below what we've normally known of her, but either way, knocking down some big buckets when it's needed.
Doing well in this star-studded Flyers lineup for Perth. The margin of error is narrowing. Scherf's got to go and makes it. She had 6 seconds remaining on the shot clock and nails the deep triple.
If you don't mind, Lauren Scherf.
17 in the ball game. 10 boards, 5 dimes. Another big game for her. Nice pass to Bishop. And the contest did just enough. Burrows moves it quickly. Sharp in the corner. Just won't go. Atwell on the follow. One more to come. And Perth are coming.
If you're watching this game, there's probably no one that thought that this would have been the scoreline down the stretch of this fourth quarter. But the way that these Perth Lynx girls are playing, it's just incredible. Taylor Burrows then was the reason why that opportunity happened for Amy Atwell. She pushed the ball in transition, got that rebound, was able to kick to the corner for that shot. Yes, the shot didn't fall, but that possession game and rebound from Amy Atwell created all that momentum. And then we've got a three-point ball game.
Makes on the free throw. And Taya Burrows, I mean, we know we've got no Sunny Wickham today due to illness, and hasn't she stepped up in the guard position? Off the pine. Rochi fires for 3 for Southside. That is huge for the visitors. Now Perth, offensive foul.
Big players making big-time games, and that, big-time plays rather, in big games. And that there, Maddie Rochi, a three-point play, or three-pointer down one end offensively, huge. And then to come down and force the turnover with taking the charge by putting your body on the line, that is massive in the context of this game.
Leader's moment for Maddie Rochi. She's got 8 dimes in the game as well. Leading all comers there. So approaching crunch time here in Perth. Cole. Now Rochi. 12-second shot clock. Blitzarfs. They find Jackson. She's doubled. Gets it out of there. Extra pass. Rochi went again from 3, and Cole on the O-glass. Rochi penetrates. Now Jackson for 3 from the wing. Lauren Jackson. Bucket goes, and the Flyers lead this one by 9 points. Timeout on the floor, Jenny Screen.
Great composure there by the Flyers. That's the difference between them in the first half and then the later stages of the fourth quarter, is understanding the tempo. That great ball movement there in that possession. Abby Bishop probably could have kicked it to Sarah Blitzarfs on her strong side, but chose otherwise. Penetration, collapsed the D. Find and Lauren Jackson, who's having a prolific game tonight. 26 points, 12 rebounds to go with it. Why wouldn't you go that direction?
Does she ever? And for Southside, the 6th triple of the ball game. 6 of 16 from long range. Meanwhile for Perth, 9 of 28. They've let it fly from downtown. Assist numbers as well. Maddie Rochi with 8. So the Lynx have just hovered between this sort of 9 to 4-point margin, if you like, Jenny. And now with 2.5 on the clock, it really is, you know...
Let's do or die. Come out of this timeout and, you know, they've got to try and get a good possession, get themselves in a position to have the best opportunity to have a great shot here on the offensive end. Try and get a stop on the defensive end. It'll be interesting to see if they push up defensively, play full court, or potentially drop back into that zone, but they've got to try and get a stop early and get it quick.
Let's see if they can come up with a bucket here. Scherf. Bibby. Now to Lauren Scherf. Rocci comes the double. Robbie Ryan spinning. What a move.
Does she love a spin move? I'm pretty sure it'd be on the scout, but she has this innate ability to just use her body, spin off the defender and finish really crafty there.
She's impressed today, especially in the first half. Blitz serves. Into the corner. Jackson goes again. Too strong that time. So they'll inbound it with 6 on the shot clock. The Flyers with a 7-point advantage. 6-point, excuse me. Bishop. Rocci working on Ryan. Inside the painted area, Scherf pulls it down. Robbie Ryan. Probing inside, out to Scherf. Now Bibby in the corner, gets around Bishop. And Southside ball.
That was a great opportunity for Perth there. They had some great ball movement, good penetration, and Chloe Billy just fumbled it there at the end of her penetration. That would have been a nice, beautiful kick out and potentially a 3 there for Ryan, but now they've got to try and go back to the drawing board and get a stop here in this possession.
Beck Cole to make it very hard for Perth. Rocci out of nowhere and just couldn't handle it. Dancing along that baseline was Amy Atwell. Would have been some steal. Rocci inside the paint, gets the bucket for Southside. So minute 15 for Perth. They've got to make their move now. Down to Scherf. Jackson defending her. Gets the hook shot away. Good defense Southside. Diving on it though. For the Lynx. Amy Atwell in the thick of it. Rocci as well. Flew in there. Been hustling all evening for the Flyers. Southside with possession. The Lynx need a steal, you feel. So here they go. In it comes, blitz serves. They work their way through it with ease. Rocci. Look to double. Will they move it out of her hands? Doesn't look too phased at the moment. Sarah blitz serves. Beck Cole now. Mid-range 2, won't fall. Scherf pulls it down. Will they go the early 3? Atwell, space to fire. In safe hands as well for the Lynx. 5-point ball game. And they'll chat things over. Not over yet, Jenny Screen.
No, it's not. And interesting timeout by Cheryl Chambers. They're up by 5, 32 seconds to go. It's a 2-possession game. Probably could have let this one run out and or not. At the discretion of the coach. Probably just wanted to cool the jets, get a good set here. But this now allows the Lynx to just pressure up defensively. They can get up full court. They can be in the lanes. They can run some kind of run and jump here and set themselves up and potentially force the Flyers into a turnover and give themselves hope on the offensive end. Either way, great contest here tonight on 9 Now of the Cygnett WNBL.
It has been a ripping matchup here for your Thursday night hoops here, round 5. We've had the battle between Lauren Scherf and Lauren Jackson, which has been just terrific. And the Lynx, without their leader in Wickham, have taken it up to Southside. Both sides trying to reverse their fortunes from last week after disappointing double-digit losses. Southside can temporarily jump above Townsville with a win here. Perth could leapfrog the Flyers with a victory of their own. Rocci again Classy through the backcourt. Blitzarv's fouled. Fouls to give. In fact, it will be 3 throws for Sarah Blitzarvs. Blitzarvs at the line. First goes. 83% free throw shooter on the season. 73 on her career. And 2 from 2 there in crunch time.
Big play coming up for the Perth Lynx here. My hope is that they go through Scherf and then they're trying to find Chloe Bibby. That would be my scenario, or potentially Atwell. They might, you know, run an exchange screen between the both of them. I'm not sure, but, you know, Chloe Bibby's got the hot hand. She's 5 of 10, 3 of 7 from deep, but we know that she can shoot it, and she's a lockdown 3-point shooter regardless. And then Amy Atwell, she's got the hot hand as well. Hasn't shot great from deep tonight, so my choice would be obviously Bibby. Or who knows? Scherf's been sensational all night, 20 points and 12 rebounds for their team. But whatever it is, it's got to be a quick shot. It has to be a quick shot, and they're up and fouling straight after that, or looking to get on the offensive glass.
Certainly plenty of options from long range. As you mentioned, Bibby 3 of 7, Scherf 3 of 4 today. And Atwell 1 of 7, but saw her last one go down. What will they draw up for Ryan Petrick's team? Southside go with both Amy and Maddie Rocci, Cole, Blitzarvs, Abby Bishop in defense. Atwell will inbound. Sharp working hard to get free. Here's Robbie Ryan. Atwell goes again, little short. Crushing the glass there is Bibby. First to it was Sharp. Can she draw some contact? Precious time winding down, and Bishop for Southside.
They got a great look, great execution off the inbound there. The Perth Lynx, Amy Atwell let it fly, just couldn't find the bottom of the net, and they tried to come with possession. Bibby crashed the glass hard, so did so did Sharpie, Alex Sharp, and just couldn't come up with possession. But can't underestimate the desperation of the Perth Lynx tonight. I think they've been sensational. I'm sure Sammy Whitcomb is at home watching and would be proud of the display that these girls have put up against the Southside Flyers. And there's a lot of positives to come out of this game for Coach Ryan Petrick and his Perth Lynx unit.
Absolutely. As Bishop just about puts it out of reach for Southside. 2 from 2. So one last heave coming up. Ryan. Flyers defending to the end. Lane goes for Ryan. Bishop moves it quick. And Blitzarvs can finish it off with a lay-in for Southside. So they will improve to 4-2 with a victory here over the Nullarbor. 83-74. Southside prevailed here on your Thursday night hoops, Jenny Screen.
Great game of basketball. Liam, great game of basketball, I should say. And, you know, credit to Perth. They hung around. They made Southside Flyers work for that game. I don't think we've seen the best of the Flyers yet. I think they're still working their way into the season and gelling with one another. And I think they're going to be a menace come the pointy end of the season. And Perth Lynx, well, you know, once Sammy Whitcomb comes back into the lineup and they start to gel as well and get comfortable with one another, there's a lot of new faces. I think 9 in this team this year. They're gonna challenge teams. I don't think they're gonna be around the mark for a championship like they were last year, but I think, like tonight, if they can play like they did, they're going to challenge a lot of teams.
Lots to like out of the performance, no doubt about it. Single-digit loss here to the Flyers. They were in it for much of the game. Points in the paint numbers stand out for the Flyers as well. Out-rebounded them 52-40, but it was the offensive rebounding numbers, Jenny, that Southside really had the advantage with, especially in the third quarter.
Absolutely. They had 3 up until half-time and finished with 16 on the game, and that really hurts you. You know, a team like Southside Flyers, they will punish you with any second effort or second possessions, and they dominated inside from the start. They had 16 points in the first quarter inside the paint, and But if I'm the Perth Lynx, I'm pretty happy. We didn't shoot that great from outside, but I thought there was a lot to like. I thought Ryan was absolutely sensational. I thought Burrows came off the bench with some good points as well, and some good minutes. And then Clinch Hoykard, she was pretty sensational too for some cameo roles. But Lauren Scher, for me, she was instrumental in giving her team any hope of getting away with a win tonight with 20 points and 12 rebounds, and not to mention her season average of 5 assists yet again.
And at the end there, a couple of big triples and an and one as well to keep her team right in it. But who could forget as well, the first half of Lauren Jackson especially, she finishes with 25 and 12. It was a great performance from her.
Yeah, she wanted this one and she wanted bad. You saw that in the first half, and she's coming off sickness from last week, and she's going to be an integral piece, make no mistake about it, about this Southside Flyers team as the season progresses. And they've got some star-started lineup, Blitzarves. They've got a lot of opals. Amy Rochi, Nadia Poch coming off the bench. We didn't see a lot of her tonight, but I thought Maddie Rochi down the stretch was absolutely sensational. Both ends of the court. Defensively getting stops and deflections, but also making big shots when it mattered.
She was terrific 8 times as well in the game for Maddie Rochi. Of course, WNBL continues with a Saturday triple header. The UC Capitals and the Flames, well, one of them will come away with their first victory of the season at the National Convention Centre, 3 p.m. Southside have one more game against the Townsville Fire. That is going to be a ripper, Jenny Screen.
Well, I think that'll be insight into what's going to happen towards the end of this season, and I think it's, potentially one of those last spots is going to be up for grabs. I think Bendigo are really good. I think Melbourne Boomers are going to be around the mark as well, and then you've got Towns or Southside Flyers, and probably Adelaide fighting for that last mark.
Plenty to play for here. Great night of hoops here in Perth. 83-74. The Southside Flyers prevail. Liam Ellison and Jenny Screen with the call. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll catch you next time for the Cygnett WNBL.